some reporter at Axios, some Israeli reporter at Axios. No, but like actually facts on the ground. We're changing the nature of the relationship, which is to say no more weapons for you. He could do that in about 4 minutes, and he hasn't. And until he does, color me skeptical.
Oh, man. So do you think, the war will continue? Or do you think he may walk away? Ah, man.
I do think it'll continue because Iran, first of all, keep in mind that this war began with the United States and Israel murdering the leader of Shia Islam. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a Christian, pretty enthusiastic Christian, actually, not a Muslim at all. I reject Islam, I'll just say. But I don't think as a Christian that we should be killing other people's religious leaders, especially when they're in their 80s and are non-combatants. Sorry. I don't think we should be assassinating people. And most Americans felt that way about 20 minutes ago. The U.S. government did not openly assassinate anybody. We did assassinate people, but we lied about it because we knew it was shameful. This war began with the public assassination of the leader of a world religion. So when you start off like that, you don't leave a lot of room for compromise or reasonable settlements, okay? Which was insane. And by the way, Israel pushed that. Netanyahu pushed that on Trump, convinced Trump, and our IC, our 18 intel agencies disagreed and said, I don't think that's going to work. But Bibi prevailed and convinced Trump to do this. So once you start with that, you can imagine this is not going to be settled in an armistice or however it's settled, except on pretty tough terms from Iran, okay? And those terms will include control over the strait or shared control with Oman, which is across the water. They will include keeping its missile program, and they will include keeping the current government intact. So you're going to have inevitably an Iran with more power and more money, despite whatever destruction we effect against their civilian infrastructure, which is a war crime, I'll remind you. But whatever, no matter how many desal plants or water reservoirs or power grid installations we blow up, Iran will be more powerful at the end than it was at the beginning of this conflict. So that's just really hard to accept. And powerful like in real terms, not conceptually powerful, not ideologically powerful or more coherent or all the sort of hard to measure ways we describe power, but like there's more money coming in to the treasury every year. They have greater respect from their trading partners. They have a closer relationship with China, a closer relationship with Russia, with Pakistan, with South Korea, with all the countries that need these commodities. And there are fewer sanctions, fewer American sanctions on Iranian oil, or the US dollar has degraded to such a point that it doesn't matter whether they're dollar-based sanctions because people are not transacting in dollars. They're using other currencies to buy and sell oil. So sanctions have no effect. So like some or all of those things will be true at the end. And like, can Trump accept that? Can American citizens accept that? Like, that's really hard to accept. And can the Israelis accept it? And the answer in all cases right now is no, they can't. So it's going to take a lot of suffering for us to get there. That's my view.
I get mocked a lot for being the optimist. I'm hoping there's a post that just came in from Trump now. I'll read it to you a few seconds ago. And again, I'm going to be very hopeful after I read this post. I just read it briefly while you're speaking. Based on the fact that discussions with the Islamic Republic of Iran have been brought to the highest level of Iranian leadership and approved, I have, as President of the United States of America, canceled the scheduled strikes and bombings against Iran this evening. Discussions and final points have been, in both concept and great detail, approved by all parties involved, including the US, Israel, Saudi, UAE, Qatar, Turkey, Pakistan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, Egypt, and others. The naval blockade will remain in full force and effect until this transaction is finalized. Time and place of the signing to be announced shortly. Donald J. Trump. Now, we've seen posts like this before. I'm in the belief that I think Trump is the only person that could really stand up to Israel. I've been proven wrong time and time again. I'm hoping this is it. What's your interpretation of this post?
Well, as noted, that's the 39th post that has made the same claim. And the first 38 have proven false. So, but like you, I am fundamentally an optimist. I wake up in a cheerful mood every single morning, almost without fail. So I want to believe that. I think I've always thought a lot of Trump. I literally campaigned for him. I wasn't getting paid. I did it because I wanted to. So, I want to believe that. I just can't overstate, however, that Iran's fundamental demands, the ones from which they will not move, that are non-negotiable, are going to be really hard to accept, because there's just no way around the fact that they're going to control one of the most important pieces of real estate on the planet. And, I can accept that. I don't want it, but there's nothing we can do about it. So I can accept it, but I'm not a politician, and I'm not the Israeli. I mean, the Israelis have really talked themselves into this headspace that's not rational at all. And I've talked just this week, I've talked to a friend of mine in Israel who is rational. He's very pro-Israel. I mean, he lives in Israel. He was born there. He's in his, he's not against Israel or against the Jews. He's an Israeli Jew. But he's like, man, everyone here thinks we're going to win. We're going to control the entire Middle East. No one can stand in our way. And I get it. Like, countries want to believe that about themselves, but they're going to discover that, no, actually, not only is Iran still there, it's more powerful. Like, I don't know what the reaction to that's going to be. And by the way, Israel's dangerous. Like, they kill people, a lot of people, and they assassinate people. They brag about assassinating people. So, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's harder than it looks. I guess I would just say that.